Hey folks, tonight we're going to try something different. It's All Hallows Eve coming up, and I can display the real me. Because you may not know, but I'm what's called an energy vampire. We energy vampires don't drain our victims of their blood. We bore them to death. And take their energy that way. But luckily for you all, I only use my powers for good. I help people relax by draining their energy and fall asleep sometimes. I tell people more than they want to know about silly things, too much detail, and just keep talking and talking and talking until they slowly drift off to sleep. And tonight, I'll tell you about Halloween. The holiday is rooted in an annual Celtic pagan festival called Samhain. And like many pagan holidays or rituals, it was later adopted, or usurped perhaps you might say, by the Catholic Church to become a Catholic event, or there was at least an attempt to do so. With Halloween, it's still pretty much a secular event, which still has ghosts and goblins and demons and many things that the church might frown on. The ancient Celts were an assortment of tribes and small kingdoms scattered across Western and Central Europe. And even after the Romans conquered their realm, Celts continued to carry on their traditions in many parts of the world, including many parts of the Roman Empire. The Celtic festival, Samhain, was a way the Celts looked at the world. The Celtic peoples saw a fundamental break between light and dark. Light representing positive, lucky, and dark representing negative, threatening. The Celtic year began at sundown at the end of autumn harvest, continued through the darkness of winter and early spring into the brightness of the summer growing season, and concluded with the harvest. Two big holidays divided their year. Beltane, which took place April 30 to May 1 on our calendar, and Samhain, which occurred October 30 to November 1. Samhain was the moment when the spiritual world became visible to humans, and the gods enjoyed playing tricks on mortals. It was also a time when the spirits of the dead mingled with the living. I think we have a spirit with us now. The Celts believed in gathering all their harvests by Samhain. So the spirits, in their mischievous ways, could not harm or impact the harvest. They offered tokens of the harvest to the spirits to placate them. The Catholic Church reckoned that these holidays, instead of trying to wipe them out, they could try to convert them to some kind of a Christian purpose. They would convert pagan temples to become churches. And it was in that way that Samhain eventually was converted and given a Christian context. The ancient Celts believed that all sorts of threatening spirits were out and about on Samhain. And Christians of that time believed in saints in such a way as they having supernatural powers. And so the church mixed the traditions, the Celtic spirits, and the Catholic saints. In the 800s, the church declared November 1st as All Saints' Day. But the old beliefs associated with Samhain never died out entirely. The traveling dead continue. The first night of Samhain, October 31st, became All Hallows' Day evening, the night before the saints were venerated. And that name eventually morphed into Halloween. And it became the time when Christians could turn the supernatural symbolism and rituals of Samhain into spooky fun. One of the rituals adopted from the Celts was pumpkin carving. The jack-o'-lantern custom consists of placing fire, which imitates the good magic of the sun, inside a hollowed-out vegetable representing the harvest. It was done in hopes the good magic will help to preserve the harvested food through the dark half of the year until the next growing season. Later, Ireland and Scotland people developed the custom of using carved vegetable lanterns to scare off the mythical character of Stingy Jack, who wandered the earth because the devil wouldn't let him into hell. And thus we have jack-o'-lanterns. The practice of trick-or-treating also originates in the Celtic custom of giving token bits of the harvest to spirits wandering the houses on the evening of Samhain to placate them and prevent them from doing destructive things to the harvest or to homes. Once Christianity became established in the Celtic regions, young unmarried men would parade around on Halloween, going to houses and calling for gifts to the spirits. This was a time when the hard work of the harvest was done, so they could indulge in some pranks to let off steam. The groups of young men were called geezers because they wore disguises, the beginning of the custom of wearing Halloween costumes. These customs were brought to the United States by immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, and other ancient homelands of the Celts. In 1894, Halloween was described in Christian work as a night when witches, evil spirits, and all mischief brewing sprites went forth on dark and mysterious midnight revels. In the 20th century, particularly the early parts, Halloween consisted of a lot more pranks and children or young boys throwing tomatoes and tearing through fields of melons and creating a lot of havoc. And there were some attempts to tone this down by sort of creating the idea of giving out candy, having the kids go around and collect candy instead of terrorizing the neighborhoods and doing vandalism. And that's how we end up with the Halloween we know today in America. So, are there spirits with you tonight? I hope you sleep well